Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another episode of Ninja Kamui. We are now on to episode 12. So last episode, we finally had Zai versus Higan. They finished up their battle, and it was emotional as well as crazy. I mean, some of the best camera work I've seen in anime up to date. Like, honestly, I think that and Demon Slayer, right neck and neck as far as the camera work. But anyway, in the end, Higan did win, and Zai finally got to get some of his frustration and anger out. But in the end, I think they just, they dealt with a very old problem that they'd had between them around the abandonment that he felt. And, he got some answers that he definitely needed. And so we see at the end that Zai was very much grieving, I think, just a lot of things. But yeah, he now I think has to figure out whether or not he wants to return to Yamaji or whether or not he's just going to find his own path. We saw that Mike was also apprehended. He was saying now that it's basically up to Jason and Higan to finish things up because, Mike's probably the least, actually, no, Mike and Jason are the most vulnerable in this situation in the sense of like, there's not much they can do now that the feds have a hold of them. And then we saw that the girls are fighting. Yes, Yamaji and Joseph, they're both trying to take each other out now because they've realized that, this tenuous partnership has come to its close. Lots to look forward to, ready to jump into this episode. But just before I do, just a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I do drop these episodes or anything else you might be watching of mine, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you can be in the know. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right now. You sure, Catman? Aww. Well, that's gonna take a while. How did you know that, sir? Who are you? Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Ah! Okay, Satan. Warn a person before you turn into the devil. So he's the one who taught them their secret arts, right? It's gotta be. I can't remember what that man looked like now, but yes. That was terrifying as hell. So is this secret art then, what do you call it? Metamorphosis or transformation? Okay, sis. Okay, she's got some serious strength in her. It's impressive. But I don't know what it's gonna do against Yamaji's Darth Vader mind trick. He hasn't even taken his hand out of his pocket. You gotta be kidding me. Can you just fall out of the helicopter, please? So really, you're doing all this because you had a nice job, Dilly? So he gave you a voice. Got it. You sure? Everyone's more than a mere soldier. For you, and you alone. Yeah, she's never ever thought about what she likes. Not for the better. Thank you. That's not going to happen either. And that's all that matters, I guess, if you believe in it. No, you're just in love with the fact that he actually listened to you, sweetie. I think if you actually listened to what he said, you would have realized that these men are both crazy. He's like, oh, that was cute. Wait, Yamaji has a suit? Well, that's not good for Higan. No emotion, no ego, then why don't you fight Higan head on? Okay. So much for Alza City. I hope everyone got a chance to leave. Guess not. Oh God! Wow! She's gone, bro. Well, at least it was quick. That's a good question. Why'd you shift back into that? You mean you lived? So you're a gang. Got it. Wait. How are we suddenly now in Demon Slayer?
組織を観察することにした。そして、お前たちの心と出会ったのだ。
Couldn't you have come a little sooner and helped us, bro?
同胞を大切に思うのはいいだろう。お前たちの思いはその域ではないようだ。
Define deeper.
報告されますか、棟梁に。
Right?
そんなことはせんや。
Arigato.
だがこのままでいれば、
But
いつか悲劇が訪れる。
you weren't wrong about that.
その覚悟があるのか？
Wow, just putting him through his trauma again. Hey, pal? Jeez. My guy just got to the point where he wasn't puking every time he thought about it.
ただ刃と共にあるのではない。心のままに刃を持つべきだと。
Yeah.
お
And
前
what
たちは言って、
constitutes a heart?
あの者は、山地は違った。
You should have taken him out, bro. You should have.
忍びが忍びとして生を得続ける。その道を。
Bro, everyone has their time. Yours is past.
我ら忍びの本懐。
Yeah, right?
知れたこと、すべては忍びのため。より多
But
いな
everybody else, to hell with them, huh?
不要なものは徹底的に切り捨てる。情
Okay.
も、己も。
That's all ego. Everything you've just said is pure ego.
すまぬ、山地。奴が選んだのは、より強い掟だった。
Bro, how?
わしは山地に殺され、忍びの組織は終わりへの道を歩み始めた。
Okay, he killed you. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that?
殺されたんじゃないのか。
Yeah, thank you.
猫に旧姓
Oh, you're a cat. That explains it.
もはやこの手で奴を止めることはできん。
Okay, so you traded that in to live again.
忍びが背負ったこの悲しい運命を。
Okay. Honest and fair.
俺の心を蘇らせた。すべての命のためにある。
Amen. Because the shinobi ain't giving you nothing but pain from the looks of things. Okay, and also some badass abilities, to be fair.
例の件ってのはエマのデータのことだな。ええ。受け取ろう。
No.
処遇はお前が言っていた通りにする。
Sure, you will. Exactly.
そのために呼んだんだ。
But you got, who's listening?
欲の癒着には複雑に入り組んだ理由がある。
Not really. It's usually egotistical.
もはやこれは私一人の行動で簡単に解決する。
Oh, you're wuss.
俺ら、マイク。
Speak for yourself. Black don't crack.
それでも俺はあんたに動いてほしい。
Yeah, exactly. That's what courage means.
詳細に。
仲間に頼んでた。
I gave you a chance to get on board.
伏せてるのはもちろん FBI のお偉いさんなんだが。
That could change very quickly. Good on you, Mike. That's right. You better smile, baby. That was a good move.
ユスローというのが軍と FBI。
Blackmail? That's such a terrible word.
俺は折れねえよ。あんたに教えてもらったから。正義ってやつを
Right?
あんたは探してたはずだ。そいつを燃やすための火種を。
Sure about that? I feel like he's been trying to save his ass and retire rich.
頼む。
Ooh, not the humility plea. So much sweat.
俺たちのやり方で決めよう。来い。
I don't understand, men. Anyway, do what you guys need to do, I guess. Okay, he's pretty agile for an old man. The way they're like, they're either fighting or doing the other thing that starts with an F. But either way, let's leave the cameras off.
ジョセフ CEO の消息は不明。
やっぱり我が身が大事か、クソどもが。
What did you expect? Weren't you gonna do the same thing?
僕は悲しいよ。諸君の行動はあまりにも浅はかだ。忘れているんじゃないか？
Did I control everything?
国防長官と FBI の上層部だけに送られた声明だ。ただの脅しじゃねえだろ。
You guys look so stupid.
殺すだろうな。口封じのために。
That won't fix the problem, but okay.
不明機を迎撃しろ。消えた。バカな。
Oh my gosh. Y'all really thought you were gonna do that without, like, this man literally works in tech. Well, that didn't work. Oh, they're all ladies. Either that or he just made all the suits with boobs.
我ら忍びのための世界がそこには傲慢も強欲もない
Oh my god! It's so stupid!
知恵より忍びが求めた
Mm-hmm,
揺
sure.
らぐことなき知恵が持つ
Right. Tell me exactly how that suit's gonna give you immortality, friend.
これより我らの主君は我ら自身
No. No.
永遠の輪を築くのだ
Eternal, bro! You! He could have kept that eye closed. I didn't need to see that. Ugh. Yeah, I know how these men like to talk about Eternals. Like, bro, looking at you, you got another 20 years tops, okay? I know them secret arts can do a lot, but something tells me you're not going to be living too long there. You're not going to be living forever. Nice try, though. There will be supplanted at some point. But anyhow, all right, the gauntlet has been dropped. We see now what Yamaji's game is. He has made his move. And we know because Joseph is still in the picture, there's still going to be a lot more mess. But yeah, this was a good episode to start putting things in place for just how crazy things are going to get. And considering that we only have one more episode, I'm like, wow, how are they going to wrap this up in one episode if this is only one season? Which again, we don't know if there's going to be a season 2 yet. But yeah, we've got, what did we have here? We got the secret of the old man with the cats. We saw him way back in episode 1 or 2. Yeah, 1, I think, and 2. He's the one who patched up. Higan told him about like not using his secret art again. And that apparently that's the one also gave him the tech around his, you know, the masks, all that stuff. So we didn't know who he was. We got very little information on him, but we found out in this one that he's actually the old master and he's found a way to transform his body to hide who he was, or who he is, I should say. But he gave us some more pieces to the story that we haven't been able to put together at this point because obviously there was no one to give us those pieces. But he's mentioned the fact that he's been watching that even since back before Higan and Mari left, he was watching the two of them and seeing that they were going to be different. I mean, Zai included, I guess, if we're going to be real. But yeah, he just got into how he recognized that, you know, he's the whole ninja order, like what they were created for versus the years going by and Japan pulling further and further away from needing them to be a part of their day-to-day life. You know, they were worried, like, what does that mean? What does that mean for our order? Do we have a future? Do we have a purpose? And we see that Yamaji was scared of what that meant and that he didn't want the shinobi order to end, at least to end like that. And so he started looking for ways to make them more relevant, but he went the extra mile. Instead of just looking at, okay, how do we become more relevant to this world? He was like, no, we're going to make ourselves irreplaceable by taking over the world. So yeah, he kind of lost his mind, went into megalomaniac mode. And that's really where this master and him diverged, because we see that the master was also worried about that. He was like, okay, if Japan doesn't need us anymore, what purpose do we have as an organization? And that is understandable, right? Because we've seen that shinobi typically take these children from when they're very, very young and put them into this life and make their life everything about the code, right? That was the theme between him and Higan's conversation, is the fact that this code, it's what they live by, but it's also the shackles that kept them locked in this rigid old way that when the times changed around them, the code didn't fit anymore. Like it fit hundreds of years ago when it was useful, but the world changed, evolved, and so did Japan, and therefore the code became, as he said, the shackles that kept them locked in the past. And so, as I was saying in the episode, that's why you need to have diversity of thought, why you need to bring in different mindsets, different thinking, different ideas. That is how you have the ability to change the world or to change the way that you do things, right? Like any organization in the world, if they want to grow and adapt, they have to bring in new minds, fresh ideas. You can't put the same people with the same thinking and the same background and expect different results. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, we see that's what the master was looking at. He was looking at Higan and Mari and Zai and seeing that their resistance to the code naturally, right? Because it wasn't like it was because of the organization shifting, like they were just naturally evolving outside of what the code was. He was saying that maybe this is the way we need to go. Like maybe them following their hearts and fighting for things that they actually care about and want to protect. Maybe that's what we need to do as shinobis rather than do this thing for state and government like we always have. But as I said, that's when he met up with Yamaji, who had a much more extreme belief system around that. And then they had their they butt heads, and Yamaji took out the master. And again, I feel like the master knew that was coming. It's interesting that I think that's how he knew he'd be free, right? I think he knew that there was no other way for him to get out from underneath Yamaji's eye, was for Yamaji to believe that he'd killed him. But we see that apparently whatever his ninja dark art is, apparently he's got a couple of them, because he was able to bring Higan into some weird like dream state where he could see all of his memories. But anyway, on top of that, we see that he was able to revive himself. But the cost of him bringing himself back from that was to lose all of his ninja abilities. So my guess is that he still has some tricks up his sleeve, because he can still transform his body. But my guess is as whatever else he could do. Maybe his the actual ninja fighting abilities, I guess all of that went. He traded that for his life. So cool, but also kind of crazy. Higon's up to speed. He knows what happened. He got to see more about him and Mari, or Mari and her mindset around why she did what she did and the inspiration. Again, Mari was really the linchpin of this whole series, if you think about it. The way she inspired Higon, Zai, Emma, and now even the master, like she really was this radiant force that I love the fact that even though she died in episode 1, her effect and her impact is still rippling through all the episodes. Like, I think that's really, really a cool way to keep her alive, even though she's not there anymore. But anyway, so now Higon is kind of up to speed. And then he's basically like, okay, so what's the point then? Like, why are you here? Why did you help me all these years if you knew that I broke the code and everything? And we see that the master's like, I'm doing it because I think your way, like what you and Marty were fighting for, was the right thing. And because I no longer can lift my blade to stop Yamaji, you're the only person who can. So he's like, I'm asking you to save the shinobi with your skills. Because he's like, your skills, what you're able to do is insane. And I think he was basically letting him know without directly saying that Higon's skill, his ninja abilities, what he's able to do is far surpassed what anything else he's ever seen. So the fact that he, between the fact that Higon had the right heart condition and mind condition, his abilities have surpassed everything that he's seen before as well. So yeah, so he asked, he basically, he did. He got on his, he bowed and he asked Higon to help him, but Higon said, I will go after Yamaji and stop them, but not for you, not for this organization, but for the freedom. Like, I'm doing it for the people that died or have sacrificed a lot to give me a life. I love that the way he phrased that. And like, as I said in the episode, that's going to give him far more fuel than some empty organization that he never really felt a true kinship with in the first place. So, and Yamaji is out there sending all of his troops. We see he's got a whole army of these bots. I don't know if there's actually ninjas in these suits or if they're just suits. We'll find out soon enough. But either way, he's got a lot of them and he sent them to all the major centers of power. He basically wants to make sure that no one can stand in his way. And he's just sitting there in his new perfected suit in Alza City. And he's basically like, yeah, a new age is coming where we're going to be the authorities, and anyone who stands in our way is going to get, they're going to get it. So that's where things are kicking off. So yeah, that ultimate battle is coming up in the next episode. But yeah, it's going to be the hell of a battle. And yeah, bye to Dilly, by the way, too. That was a really quick part of the episode too, that the fight against Dilly and Yamaji, which was not much of a fight, which I anticipated. Yeah, another good episode, guys. I like the revelations and the understandings, and I'm ready for this final battle. I think it's going to be pretty badass. So yeah, I enjoyed watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.